What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What is up, y'all? Happy blessed Thursday. I had to look at my phone to see what day it actually was. Happy blessed Thursday. Today definitely feels like either a Friday or a Saturday to me. But happy blessed Thursday to those of you guys that are tuning in. As always, as you guys are coming in, go ahead and tell God thank you. And tell us one thing that you are grateful for if you are catching this thing on the replay. Please be sure that you are not only hitting that thumbs up button, but go ahead and hashtag replay crew in the comment section. And so today I will say that I am a little bit late for one. I'm a little bit later than usual. I've been allowing myself to kind of just coast into these days, but today I will say that I am just grateful for rest, and I'm grateful for honestly just seeing improvements in myself when it revolves around like faith, when it revolves around trusting God. Like I feel like I've been in a place today where I'm grateful, I'm receptive to what God is showing me. Hey, Visha, to what God is showing me about myself. But I'm also, proud of myself for making the leadway that I have made when it revolves around overcoming trauma, overcoming fear, and honestly, just relinquishing control. Grateful for God's perspective on life. I know that's right, Visha. And so that has been where I've been at today. I don't plan to be on here super duper long, but I wanted to just come in and release this word that God gave me. So the past few days, I feel like there's a certain thing to the week of what God is dealing with us about, and how a lot of these messages are so very connected. It's kind of like God taking us step by step by step by step by step. And I've been very appreciative for just those things. And so this week for me has, and I think for many people, has had a theme about like relinquishing control, and how relinquishing control is the main thing that we have to do, in order to really operate from a mindset where we are operating from faith. And so today has been one of those things, those days. I coasted into today, and I had a few things that I had to get done, washing my hair and just preparing for the weekend, and all of the that it is going to entail. Getting my game plan together so that I'm not overwhelmed. And there was a portion today where it's been a whole lot of new activity in my life, new things in my life, and again, it is dealt with control. And I found myself today just kind of like overthinking and almost self-imploding slash self-sabotaging something new that God is doing. And there was a portion today where, as I was kind of overthinking, the Lord uttered this word to me. He said, "Don't overthink it." He said, and then he asked me, he says, number one, don't overthink it, but why are you afraid in this area? And it didn't dawn on me until like he asked that question, that like overthinking is a form of fear. The reason why many of us overthink is because we are afraid of how something is going to affect our life. And so you know what we do? We overthink it so that we won't fall flat on our face. And so here I was overthinking a situation, and God asked me, why are you afraid? And when I really just sat down and thought about like the amount of fear that I actually felt, and why I was wanting to just say, I would rather self-sabotage this and just go the opposite way than to actually sit here and figure it out. Not knowing that the entire time what God was dealing with my heart about was the fact that particular area, I have not been operating from a place of faith. Yeah. And so he asked me, why was I afraid? And I said, Lord, I'm afraid of going through something super duper bad. I'm afraid of it being a repeat of certain situations. And the word that he says, if you're going to trust me, you have to stop yourself from overthinking. And I'm going to just say this: overthinking leads to anxiety. I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've been in your walk. I don't care if you feel like you are if you can be at peace while you're overthinking. I don't care what nobody say. Overthinking leads to anxiety. It leads to you looking at a situation, and instead of like seeing or believing that God can handle it no matter how impossible it may look, like when think things, it makes us anxious. It makes us fearful for the change that is to come. And so So as I like work through that, God told me, he says, now that you understand what the fear is, give me control. Allow yourself to relax in this moment and let life flow. And he reminded me of like even just yesterday and how yesterday just played out. The moment I let go of control was a moment that I actually got to see that God cares about my life and cares about me in a way to where I know that, choosing God, choosing faith doesn't necessarily mean I'm a strong. It doesn't mean that I won't get my needs met. And so today was one of those humbling moments where God also highlighted that a part of giving him control also looks like giving him, your fears mentally when it revolves around whatever it is that he is doing. I hope that I'm making sense. And so I wanted to just share that little tidbit of where I am. This is not going to be long broadcast. It's probably going to be one of my shorter ones because I am on a time schedule, but more so because it's what God has given me. Don't overthink it. And I'm gonna just say this: a lot of times change is scary. We look at change, and especially if you're coming out of a season where you've struggled, or coming out of a season where you've had to endure some things. A lot of times we look at change as, is this going to like be the thing that pushes me under? Is this going to be the thing that like literally takes me out? And so I wanted to just bring that encouragement to those of you guys that are also shifting into new things, that are also stepping into a place where you're allowing for God to shift your perspective on what it him, but also shifting your perspective on him in itself. I want to encourage you that as you maneuver through this season of your life, that you also check your mind at the door, that you also, bring yourself to a space where you say, you know what, God, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to trust you and trust that however it flows is how it's meant to flow. I'm not going to run from lessons. I'm not going to run from whatever this change brings to me. And I'm just going to give it to you. And I'm going to say this. I feel like life is so much more peaceful when we do that. Hey, Brindy. Life is so much more pleasant, so much more enjoyable when we're not trying to control all of the different aspects of our life or of the change that God is ushering into our lives. I say all of this to say, relax. Yep, you heard me right. Relax. In a way, that was what God told me. So I'm going to tell it to y'all. Relax. And that's the word. So if this has blessed you today, can you simply tell God thank you? We are about to, hey, Miss Nicole, we are about to shift over to TikTok. I got to go put my watch on, Lord. I got maybe about 30 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and shift over to TikTok really quickly. If you feel led to sow, the ways to sow are in the description of every single video. You let God lead you. But we are about to shift over to TikTok. We are going to flow just a little bit. If you have not caught this from the beginning, go back and catch it from the beginning. I promise it'll bless you. But all in all, relax. Can I just get somebody to just type that in? Relax, 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 relax. You don't have to be so wound up in this season. Relax. You don't have to be afraid of worst case scenario in this. Relax. And so that is it, y'all. I love y'all. If you want to sign up for our raffle, it is $5 per entry for your chance to win a $100 Visa gift card. I'm pulling it July 17th. I don't know the time yet, but we're going to put it on TikTok Live. So if you want to enter, you can send your $5 per entry to whatever the ways are that you typically sow, and put your TikTok handle or your YouTube name. But nevertheless, I love y'all. I'm rooting for y'all. So until next time, y'all. Peace.